Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to talk about the table functions. Now, table functions manipulate and transform the tables within Power BI datasets, and these functions include some of the functions like filter, all, values, related, related table, calendar, calendar auto, top and distinct, and select columns. We will be using these some of the functions in Power BI now. If we talk about these functions, first we talk about the filter function. So filter function is used to filter a table. Let's say that you are working with a big table and you want to filter that table and you want to create a new table out of it. In that case, what you would do is you will give a filter expression. So filter takes that expression and then filters the table and returns a new table to you. Then we have all option. So what all does, this function is used if you want to create a new table and you want to ignore all the filters that were applied into the table that you are referring to. For example, let's say that I have three categories in my table and I applied a filter and then I chose only one category. Now, when I select a new table, I want all the values to be over there, but I don't want the values that were filtered out to be left out. In that case, what I'll do is I will use this all function. Then I have this values. This values returns one table column and it contains some distinct values from a specified color. For example, we have already selected the distinct kind of thing. It would be doing same kind of operations. Then we have the related option. So related works in a kind of VLOOKUP format. For example, if you have two tables and if they have a relation between them, if you want to bring one column from a table to another one, you can use this related option. Then we have this related table option. It would return a table that is related to the current table by specified relationship. Again, it would be working kind of same like related, but this time it would create a table. Then we have the calendar option. Calendar option would be returning a table with dates. Like for example, let's say that you have specified two dates from 1st of January to 31st of December. So it would create a table for you. And in that table, you will have a column in which there would be dates ranging from 1st of January to 31st of December. Then you have calendar auto. So in this case, it would automatically create a calendar based on the data that you have right now in the table. So let's say if you are having some information of date and time over there, it would try to analyze it and it would try to create a column on its own. Then we have the top n. So it would return the top n rows based on a specified expression. For example, let's say that you want to find out the top 10 rows based on the total sales price. So now it would try to take out the total sales price and then it would show you the top 10 values, top 5 values, whatever number you specify over there. We have already used distinct. Distinct would give us a table with a single column with all the distinct values of a specified column that you have chose. For example, we have seen that in our orders table, there were multiple countries in a specified column, but we need to find a distinct value for them because all these countries were repeating. So in that case, what we would do is we will use this distinct function. Then we have the select column. So this select column would be used if you want to select some specified columns or some specific column from a table and then create a new table out of it. And also occasionally you can rename those columns too. For example, let's say if there is product name, you don't want it to appear like product name. You want to just make it appear like product. So you can do it with the help of this select column function. Okay, so we are in a Power BI screen and first of all, I'll be working with the sample sales data. Now over here, you can see I have got multiple columns. One of the columns is quantity. Now I want to create a new table based on extraction that the quantity should be greater than 3. So I want to select all the values where the sample sales quantity is greater than 3. I want to select only those values. So in that case, what I'll do is I will create a expression. And for that, what I'll do is I will click on the new table option and let's name this table as high quantity sales. You will use the filter option. Then it would ask you that what is the table that you want to work on. So I will write sample sales over here, comma. Then it would ask you the column name. So again, I know the column name is quantity, but since it is inside that table sample sales, I have to write sample sales again. So I will select this sample sales quantity. Then I will specify the expression that the quantity should be greater than 3. Then I will close this bracket and press enter. So in this way, it would create a new table from me. And in that table, all the values in which the quantity was greater than 3 would appear. So now you can see I have got these 4 rows in which the quantity was greater than 3. Let's try to make the quantity greater than 2 this time. So I will change the expression and I'll write quantity greater than 2. And you can see now the other values also appear in this quantity. So this is the way in which you can use the filter option. Now, let's say that you want to create a table in which all the values should be shown. So let's say I will first delete this table. I'll go in the sample sales, and over here I have got multiple categories. So one category is electronics, other is furniture, the third one is office supplies. So what I'll do for now is I will apply filter for now. So apply the filter of furniture, do OK. Now a filter is applied on the top of this table. Let's say if you want to refer this table and you also want to return all the values which were in the category. But since right now there is this filter, it is not able to show you all the values. But you still want all the values that are in this specific column. In that case, what I'll do is I can go over here in the more table, I mean the new table option. And let's say I will select all values over here. The name that I am giving for this specified table is all tables. And here in the function, I will write all. In the bracket, I will say that the column name was sample sales category. So I will select this and press enter. You can see it has returned us a table in which we have one column, and in that column I have all the values for the categories that were in the sample sales. So in this way, without clearing the filter for this category, I can still create a new table with all the values of this category present over there. So for now, I will clear this filter for now. Then the next one is the unique values, which is basically calculated by the values function. So let's say if you want to find out all the unique values that are on a specified column, for example, again in the product name, if you want to find out that are there some unique values out there, so what you can do is you can go to home, click on the new table. For the table name, I will say unique values, and the function would be values. And inside bracket, I will pass the column name. So I want to find out the unique values from product name. Close the bracket, hit enter, and you can see it has returned me a single column table in which there are unique values of these product names. So you can see total right now I have 45 unique values. So in this way, I can know that there are some 45 products which are selling, and they might repeat again and again. But in all, if I want to count how many products are there are 45 products. So this is how you create a table with unique values. Then I have the related option. So this related option, as I told you, you can use it like VLOOKUP. So for that, what I will do is I'm using the orders table over here. Now, why I'm using this order table, I'll tell you. So this order table belongs to a global superstore dataset, and we have already talked about this dataset. This dataset contains the record of the orders which are placed in this e-commerce website online, and it has got some 51,290 records. Now, one of the column in that is the region. So if I just scroll over right, you can see the region over here. The region column contains the region values. For example, it contains Africa, Canada, Caribbean, Central Asia, and all the other values. Also, there are some region heads over there. So let's say that if I move to this people table, you can say that I'm only having two columns over here. The first one is the person name, the second one is the region. So all these region are having some region head, and these are the name of the region head. Now what I want to do is over here in the orders table, if I come again, I want to create a new column. Let me move to the right hand side. I want to create a new column over here, and whatever region is there in front of that, I want to show the region head name. So what I will do is I have to find out some common key over there. So for that, I can use the related function. So for that, I will just click on the new column option, and it would create this new column for me. This new column name, I will specify as region head. And I will just say that this particular column is related. So I will write related over here. And then it would ask me to which particular table it is related. So I will say that there is a table by the name of people. In that you have to find the region name or the person's name, which is basically the region head. So I will choose this column, the region person, and then I will close it with the help of parenthesis, press enter. It would give me the value of that region head. So you can see the region head value has now appeared over here. Again, if you want to see that how many values are now present in this region head, you can click on this arrow and you can see all the values are there. If you also want to verify, what you can do is you can select one region at a time. Let's say I'm selecting North region and click on OK. You can see for the North region, I have the region head as Jack LeBron. Again, if I go to the people's table, so if I scroll down and go to the people's table, over here for the North region, indeed, I have this Jack LeBron. So this is how you created a related table. I can delete this column for now. Then the next one is the calendar option. So calendar option will create a table with values of minimum and maximum value basically that you specify. So I will click on the new table option and the name of this table I'm giving as date table. Then it would ask me, what do you want to do? What function do you want to use? So I want to use the calendar function. In the calendar function, first I have to specify the start date. So for the start date, I'm choosing the year as 2020, comma, the month as 1, the day as 1. So this would be my start date. Then as the bracket ends, you have to put comma and then it would ask you the end date. So again in brackets, you have to provide the year, the month and the day and hit enter. Now you will see that it has created this records. So looks like I have made a mistake over here. Okay. I'm sorry, my bad. You have to use this date as well because you have to specify this date manually. So what you would do is when you specify the start date and end date, you also have to provide this date function. Then it would be able to detect that date. Now you see over here, the start date is 2020, the 1st of January 2020. And if I scroll down, so there are 1797 records. I have the values till 1st of December 2024. So it is taking the values in form of year, month, and then day. This is how you can create a table with a calendar command. Then we have the top n options. So this top n options would be used to find top 5, top 10 values over there. So let's say, again, I'm going in this sample sales table. Here, you can see that the total price of everything is different. For example, the total price of smartphones is some different. The total price of laptop is something different. Here, what I need to do is I need to find the top 5 values of the total price. So how would I do it? Let's say if I click on new table, here I need to create some new table based on the top 5 values. So let's name this table. You can write any name. I will say top 5 values. Then I will give the function of top n. Then it would ask me how many values do you want? You can see this expression. It is asking me n underscore values. So I will say top 5 values. Then it would ask me what is the table that you are referring to. So I will say the table I'm referring is sample sales. Then it would ask me what is the order of the expression. That means on which particular thing you want to order it. So I will say I want to order the things on sample sales total price column. So I will select this total price column and then I will close the bracket, hit enter. Now it would return me top 5 values based on the total price of things. So then you can basically even sort it to see if they are going in the ascending or descending order and how they are acting. You can basically sort these values. If you want to find out the top 10 values here, instead of 5, you can write 10. So this was the function to find the top n values. Then we have the distinct function. So basically we have already done the distinct function. So you can watch the previous videos and see how we did the distinct function. Then we have the selected function or the select columns function. So what I will do is, let's say again you go in this sample sales. Now you need to select only two columns from over here, product ID and product name. And using these two columns, you need to create a new table. What would you do? You can go in the new table option and let's say this time I'm naming this table as product table. Then I will use select columns function. First of all, I have to specify the table name from which I have to select the columns. So I will write sample sales, comma. Then it will ask me the name one. Name one means whatever name we want to give to that particular column. So for now, I know that I want to choose that product ID column. So what I'll do is I will write product ID. So instead of using this sample sales product ID, you just have to provide the name product ID. So I will write it in quotes, product ID. And why I'm doing this, I'll tell you in a moment. Now this product ID is referring to which column? This product ID is referring to the product ID column that we already have in the table, comma. Then let's talk about the other column that you want to select. So the other column that I want to select is the product name. So again, I have to write the product name. So in quotes, I will write product name and comma. I'm referring to the product name present in the sample sales table. After you hit enter, it would then try to fetch those two columns from the sample sales table. Now you can see I have got this data where I have got two columns, one by the name of product ID, other by the name of product name. Now over here, why are these values repeating? Over here, you can see these values are repeating. Why is it happening so? So let's say instead of this product ID, I just write ID and hit enter. You can see this product ID column name has now changed to ID. This is because here you can rename this particular column as how it would look like when it is coming from the other table. So first I have to specify the table name. Then I have to specify the name which I want to give to the particular column. Then I would specify the name of the column I am talking about. In a similar case, for the second column, first I will specify the name that I want to give to the new column and the column that I'm referring to. So let's say if you want to change the name of this column from product name to just product, so you can rename this product name, which we have written inside quotes. This is how you will use the select columns to create a new table. So this was all for this session for table functions. In the next session, we'll be using some aggregate functions. Thank you.